Can I delete the local copy of this FTP RAM test, which I recorded on my Garmin Fenix 7S Pro, using an Assault Bike Pro X? In Garmin Connect I now have two copies. The first one is from my Garmin Fenix 7S Pro, which I recorded on the watch, and then I have the one that is imported from Zwift. Zwift seems to be the only indoor cycling app, at least from the ones I tested, where cycling VO2 max with the Assault Bike Pro X is updated in Garmin Connect. So now here we can see that this activity is from Zwift. The question I now had is, are the charts identical? So let's take a look at the training effect. In this case we find a training effect of 2.4 aerobic and 0.0 anaerobic. Another question is whether the stamina calculation which I have on my Garmin Fenix 7S Pro is identical in this activity here. We can also take a look at the time and heart rate zones, but probably later. So let's go into the activity that I recorded on my 7S Pro at the same time, simultaneously. Now, what we can see is that the training effect here is calculated differently. We still have 2.4, I think this was identical, but we also have 0.6 anaerobic. So for some reason, the anaerobic calculation did not, well, calculate properly from the Zwift imported activity. We also can take a look at the time and heart rate zones, or maybe just let's take a look at the average heart rate, as this probably is easier to compare. So let's take a look at also stamina is already something I don't have in the other activity that is imported from Zwift, which I already saw. The average heart rate here is 138 and the maximum heart rate 137. Let's now again go into the Zwift activity, and here under charts what we find ideally is the same heart rate, but we do not. We do have an average heart rate of 137 and not 138. Now this difference could be due to maybe a few seconds of recording on my side, basically not identical. So maybe I didn't stop the activity identically on both my watch and also in Zwift. But what cannot be found here is stamina. What cannot be found on the watch activity is the power data as well as the cadence data, and this would be something that would be useful. One can potentially merge both activities. There seems to be a tool online. But if I have to do this for every single activity, just to have basically all the data in here, then this is probably something that's quite effortful. So here we also have the speed, here we also have the elevation. But because the Garmin watch does not connect in any way apart from the broadcasting heart rate feature to the Assault Bike Pro X, what I do not have in here is elevation, speed, power. What I do have here is then temperature, which is recorded on the sensor of the watch. And also there's a new field which is estimated body temperature, which I now also have in here. The problem now I have is that if I have both activities, then seemingly training status is affected, the load focus is also affected, and load is also affected. So these metrics are now basically not accurate because I have a duplicate file, but I don't know which one to delete.